Camille Jennings never thought the place she worked so hard to reach would try to destroy her. At 36, she had built a formidable reputation in the legal world, brilliant, unshakable, and one of the few black women to ever reach senior legal advisor status at one of the most prestigious firms in Manhattan. She had earned every ounce of respect with sleepless nights, court victories, and a calm, razor-sharp mind that could dismantle legal arguments in seconds. Yet, none of that stopped the betrayal. Daniel Hartford was the golden boy of the firm, white, smooth-talking, from a family with deep political connections. He exuded power and influence. Camille had always kept her distance from him. There was something too practiced about his charm, too curated, but she never expected that he'd be the one to weaponize her very presence against her. The trouble started when a high-stakes corporate case involving $80 million went sideways. Vital documents disappeared, deadlines were missed, the client pulled out, and suddenly, the firm's largest account was gone. Everyone scrambled for answers. Then a digital paper trail emerged, showing emails from Camille's account approving the mishandled documents. Her signature was on forms she had never seen. Security logs showed her ID accessing files she hadn't touched. Camille authorized the transfer, Daniel said in a firm-wide meeting, flashing forged paperwork. I thought she had it handled. She stared at him, stunned, the calmness in his face, the way he avoided her eyes. HR moved fast. Her badge was deactivated. They didn't even let her return to her office to get her belongings. Just like that, she went from powerhouse to pariah. Whispers trailed her. Guest diversity hires can't handle pressure. The very firm that had applauded her black excellence when it looked good on brochures now treated her like a criminal. But Camille wasn't broken. She was enraged. She reached out to a tech friend from law school, Aisha, now an expert in digital forensics. Together, they combed through Camille's old logins, timestamps, server pings. Slowly, a pattern emerged. Her credentials were used from IPs across town, far from where she had been at the time. The files had been planted. Daniel had faked everything. But proving it wouldn't be enough. Camille knew the firm wouldn't want to admit fault. She needed leverage. So she went public. She contacted the East Side Truth, a rising investigative media outlet led by black and brown women journalists. They had taken down two shady real estate empires already. Camille gave them everything: emails, logs, witness statements from paralegals who remembered Daniel borrowing her keycard, and even footage from a hallway camera showing Daniel leaving her office late at night when she was on vacation. The story dropped within a week. They used her to cover their lies, inside the framing of a black legal star. It went viral. Camille's photo, fierce, unbowed, was on the homepage of news sites for days. The article laid bare how firms like hers propped up white mediocrity while burning black excellence to the ground when convenient. Daniel tried to deny it all, but the internet doesn't forget. People dug up past scandals. A previous intern came forward anonymously, describing how Daniel threatened to blacklist her when she caught him changing time logs on a project. The walls began to close in. Then came the arbitration hearing. Camille showed up in a crimson pantsuit, poised and composed. She brought every piece of evidence. Each one landed like a hammer. Her voice never shook. Daniel, across the room, was pale and twitchy, tapping his fingers while pretending to review notes. When Camille presented a key piece of data, a cache file on Daniel's personal laptop syncing with her firm email, he broke. In front of the board, he muttered, "It was just easier this way." The silence was deafening. Camille could have taken their settlement offer. She could have walked away with millions and let it be buried, but she didn't. Instead, she demanded a public apology and initiated a full-scale legal reform campaign. She began touring law schools, teaching young attorneys of color how to protect themselves in hostile firms. She launched her own firm, Jennings Justice, a black woman-led legal consultancy dedicated to defending whistleblowers and racial discrimination victims. A year later, Camille was named one of the most influential legal minds of the decade by Law Equity Today. Meanwhile, Daniel moved to a no-name firm in Ohio, where he handled petty disputes for half his old salary. Camille never gloated. She didn't need to. As she stood before a class of law students at Columbia one evening, someone asked her, "What kept you going when they tried to destroy everything?" Camille smiled, looked up at the young black women in the crowd, and said, "They underestimated the wrong woman."